I still have BKO right here and GKB. So let's move to our final conversation. Now, the scourge of insecurity in Nigeria continues to cause concerns for citizens. For 55 days, a former Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, NYSC, retired Brigadier General Maharazu Siga, has been held captive by kidnappers after being abducted from his home in Katsina State. His abductors initially demanded 250 million naira, but despite reports of negotiations, he remains in captivity. His family members are now demanding government intervention in securing his release. BKO, 55 days and still counting. Brigadier General Maharazu Siga still in captivity with little or no attempt to rescue him. How worrisome is this?
I really, it's very shameful to have this kind of situation. This is a man who served his country, put his life on the line, only to be picked up like a fowl in his village. Siga village in Bakori local government. I don't know whether it has suddenly become a crime to live in the hinterland, because these bandits don't take their nonsense to state capitals. Apart from maybe Zamfara, yes, some parts of Gusau local government, but certainly on the fringes of the state capital.
Okay.
They do not go
into the heart of
because they also don't want to die. They know places that are well defended, well protected by the armed forces.
Soft targets.
So they go to places that they know okay, security is lax and all that. Go and pick up a general. I don't understand. And they've taken, the family came together, paid ransom. But this boy still didn't release this man.
They paid the 250
They paid
million?
ransom. I don't know how much
okay,
they
paid.
paid.
Amount, okay, but they paid them.
But they paid ransom. They paid ransom. I don't know how much. Maybe they are holding out for more because they do that sometimes. And some of what they do these days is really even dangerous. They sell their victim to a richer bandit group.
More powerful.
Yes. So they can sell, the human beings have now become commodity in their hands. They will sell a victim to another bandit group that is ready to pay them good money. So those ones will now inevitably hike the ransom. We've got to protect our country better. Okay. The CDS, the NSA, the service chiefs, they need to know that there's a lot more work for them to do. I appreciate the effort that the NSA is making. I appreciate the effort that CDS and others are making. We know that there's improvement in some areas. I can testify to that. I fear God sufficiently to admit that there is progress. But we must admit that there is still a lot of work to be done. And whatever it takes, Mr. President must get the security aids cracking. This general has to be brought out of captivity.
Absolutely.
It's an embarrassment
to the armed forces.
To the armed forces, to Nigeria that is served in different capacities. And then as DG of the NYSC, to know that this person is still in captivity. There was even one story that he had been released.
Almost 2 months.
It turned out to be a lie. 55, I think it was on the 5th of February or so.
Yes, early February.
5th of February.
Yeah, we talked about it.
It will soon be 2 full months. Come on, it's about time.
GKB, it's embarrassing. 55 days and still counting. Really embarrassing for someone who served.
There was a time in this country that the conventional wisdom was that do not kill a policeman. They will get you. That's the conventional wisdom. That whatever you do, once you kill a policeman, 24 hours, 48 hours later, the police will get you. I'm not even talking about the military. And now a major general.
Brigadier general.
A brigadier general. A man who has served at the highest level is in captivity for almost 2 months. It's not only a slap on our country. It's also a slap on the face of the Nigerian forces who pride themselves. We know what they've done in Liberia. We know what they did in Sierra Leone.
Yes.
We know what they did to bandits
in Lebanon.
in those countries. This is our home. If you cannot protect one of your own, it becomes a problem going forward. Because it's about perception. That's what I said. When we were growing up, that was conventional wisdom. And it was true. You kill a policeman, less than a
pay
week,
for it.
they will get you. So people at that point in time will know that, as Yorubas will say, if you are going mad, you know where the fire is. Don't go there. Your madness should not get to the point where you kill a policeman. That's how fallen we have become as a country. That a brigadier general will be in captivity for this long, and nothing is happening.
It is sad.
It is sad.
All right, joining us from our Abuja studio for more discussion on this issue, a friend and a colleague of the abducted general, retired Brigadier General Ismail Abdullahi. Thank you for joining us, General.
Thank you so much, sir, for having me.
All right, so as a friend and colleague of General Siga, talk to us. How will you describe the rescue efforts to free him from his abductors?
Well, let me first of all, by way of preamble, to thank TVC and your able anchors for having me on this program. So on behalf of the family of General Iga, his colleagues, friends, we extend our appreciation. Now, if you recall, like you rightly stated, for the last 55 days, General Iga has been in captivity. Just like Babajide pointed out, he was abducted on the 5th of February 2025. That is about 55 days. This gentleman has been in the bush. Just imagine yourself, not for 54 days, but even for 7 days, there are things we take for granted. In the morning you wake up, you go into your bathroom, there's a brush there, toothpaste waiting for you, you take bath, you come out, you dress, take your breakfast, and you go out. Now imagine yourself being in captivity for not only 7 days, not 14 days, not 21 days, not 28 days, but for 54, 55 days. You are in captivity. There's no toothpaste for you to brush your mouth, no clippers to have a haircut, no nail cutter to cut your nails, no good water to drink, talk less of taking bath, no dress for you to change. General Iga has been in the bush for the last 55 days with one dress, no haircut, no nail cutter. Imagine if tomorrow General Iga is released, how will he appear? That is the problem I want Nigerians to look into. We don't want General Iga to be in captivity more than necessary, because somebody will say this is more than necessary, 55 days. We had General Duru, I'm sure you will recall, who was abducted 27 September 2023. General Iga is not the first general to be abducted in this country. General Duru was abducted 27 September 2023 in Imo State. Story had it that that general was killed by his abductors. We don't want that situation to happen to General Iga. It is General Iga today, tomorrow it could be you or me. So there are efforts, if I may answer your question, there are efforts, yes, from the army. We want to give them some credit. They are making effort, but the effort is not good enough. They must come out now, go into the locations of these bandits and engage them. The way they are being engaged now is not the best method. Thank you.
Now, the Northwest has been a hotbed of banditry for so long. What do you think should be done at this stage to at least keep our people safe? The stories are troubling.
That is a very nice question, Babajide. Just like you described earlier, that what is happening now is shameful and is an embarrassment, not only to the country, but to the Nigerian security forces. What we need now in the Northwest is not a conventional war anyway going on there. We need to change tactics. We must have special forces.
Yes.
We must have special forces trained, equipped, and well motivated to engage these bandits. But the way we're handling them now, this is not a conventional war whereby you move troops in the open, in hillocks to go and engage bandits. At the end of the day, they ambush you. But we have been calling on the military to change tactics. Look, we must have special forces. If you recall, an American was abducted in Niger Republic some years, 2016 I suppose.
Yes.
He was abducted in Niger Republic, taken to Kebbi State. The American forces, they came into Nigeria and they extricated that American citizen. What did they use? They used special forces. This is what we want. The only way this banditry can be brought to an end, Babajide, is we must have special forces. These are the only forces that can handle this situation. Thank you.
You talk about special forces. Do we have the capacity to train them to the point that they can deliver the goods? Do we have the capacity within Nigeria, or would you suggest training outside of our country?
I don't think we have that capacity, Babajide, to train special forces in the country. We don't have that capacity. Wow. So what do? We don't have to take our men outside the country to go for training. We can bring specialists from selected countries. We know the country that they can go and get trainees
the same problem.
Or trainers to come in here and train our troops. They can go to depot, Babajide, go to depot, select 100, 200 these young boys who are so passionate in military career. Take 200, 300, take them to say Katsina or Kontagora, where we have our training grounds. Give them, Babajide, 6 months intensive training. I assure you, banditry will be a thing of the past. So okay. we must change our focus.
All right, retired Brigadier General Ismaila Abdullahi, we need to go on this quick break, and when we return, the conversation continues.
A vision for Nigeria, President Tinubu's leadership. Today, we celebrate President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, a leader driving progress and transformation in Nigeria. His bold economic reforms, removing fuel and forex subsidies to save the nation from economic collapse, investing in infrastructure, education, and youth empowerment, are shaping a brighter future. Through initiatives like local government autonomy, progressive tax reforms, CNG transportation, student loans, and worker credit, he promotes inclusive growth and job creation. Major infrastructure projects, including the Coastal Highway, Sokoto-Badagry Highway, rail lines, and airports, are reconnecting the nation. His leadership fosters unity, resilience, and hope. Together we rise, together we shine. Happy birthday to the father of the nation. Courtesy, TSG.
All right, thank you so much for joining us. It's still Journalist Hangout. We still have a friend and colleague of General Siga, retired Brigadier General Ismaila Abdullahi. General, are you still with us?
I'm still here, loud and clear.
All right. So after the initial demand of the 250 million naira ransom by the kidnappers, what further negotiations are you aware of regarding the effort?
Let me make a very quick observation. Actually, it wasn't 250 million they demanded. They demanded 400 million. That's what they demanded. You know, and negotiation has been going on for some time, and some part of money has been collected through friends, donations, colleagues. Some amount was given to these bandits, which they collected, hoping that they will release NYSC. But funny enough, what they told the intermediary was that the amount given to them was feeding money for the general, and they are still waiting for the balance to be paid. However, we are just happy for one thing, that the general is still alive, and they are still communicating with the family. Okay. We have our expectations, both from the Katsina State government. I must state categorically here that NYSC is not an ordinary citizen. I'm sorry to use this word, ordinary. You know. He is a retired brigadier general. He was a DG, Director General NYSC. So in Katsina State and in the country at large, NYSC is not an ordinary citizen. When this happened, we expected, first of all, the Katsina State government to send emissaries to at least sympathize with the family. Up to today, up to this moment, not a single individual visited the poor woman or the children of NYSC to express sympathy.
Wow.
Like I've said, the army is doing its best, but we need them to do more. Like I've said, they should revert to the use of special forces to protect Northwest from this savagery. The office of the NSA, I must touch that office too. That office is supposed to be the hope of national security. But from what happened, I noticed what has been going on for these 55 days, and I'm talking now authoritatively. There is no synergy between the office of the NSA, the SSS, and the military. There was a time the office of NSA was contacted, and he expressed surprise that NYSC, is still in captivity. I really wonder what kind of security act setup we have in the country. I thought one would have thought every morning the NSA office there would be briefing. NYSC is not an ordinary person. He should have been told NYSC is still in captivity. We made effort to contact him and tell him this one. Up to today, he has no time to see us. Now, our request from the Northwest, our simple request is one. The president, I'm sure he's watching this program, or his aides are watching this program. If a state or emergency can be declared in River State, while you have a minor political issue, we request the president to declare state of emergency in the following states: Kaduna State, Katsina State, Kebbi State, Niger State, Sokoto State, and Zamfara State. People every day are being maimed. People every day are being killed. People every day are being displaced from their houses. And here we are, waiting for 2027 for election, while people are being killed. So we request that a state of emergency be declared in this state so that peace will be brought in these states.
All right.
And people will have a means of running their lives.
All right, thank you so much, General. Thank you so much, General. Retired Brigadier General Ismaila Abdullahi, thank you so much for having this conversation with us. He's a friend and colleague of General Siga, who 55 days and still counting, still in captivity. Thank you so much for having this conversation with us, General.
Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks.
BKO.
Soldiers are naturally courageous people. They keep their emotions in check. But looking at General Abdullahi, you can see that he was struggling.
I see.
He was struggling to keep his emotions in check. And the first time I spoke with him, I felt it even in his voice. Nobody wants a loved one to be in the hands of these good-for-nothing bandits.
Absolutely.
Nobody wants to see that. And to see their colleague after serving his country in the armed forces for that long in detention. I can understand this disappointment.
I mean, the picture he painted, 55
yes.
days,
How
you
can
just
you
have
be
one
asking for
cloth
400
on?
million?
Yeah, 400 million?
I have said it before. Until we declare a total war against these people. I don't know what it takes. Declare a total war. Let's know that we are at war as a country. We must declare a total war. Identify where they are. Bomb them. They do not deserve to live with us. They don't.
Constant bombardment.
People who are taking people's lives without provocation, they are not human beings. They don't deserve to cohabit with us. And they need to be served the right justice.
Absolutely.
The justice that needs to be served these persons is that justice that takes them straight to Jamaica. There's no other form of justice.
Absolutely.
The justice that takes them by Boeing 777 straight
to Jamaica.
To Jamaica.
Absolutely.
That jetliner by Boeing. They will enjoy the comfort of 777. It takes them straight to Jamaica. There's nothing else that we want.
All right then. Well,
there's nothing else. Enough is enough.
Well, it's a fine place for us to leave it.